So I finally bought myself a PlayStation 5 and I've been eyeing this console for a really long time, and most people know me for being a music producer and doing everything about music, but a lot of people don't know that I've been playing video games for so long in my life, to the point where I started out with video games and then I got into like music and production and things like that. But video games has always been in my life, although I took a break for a really long time because I wanted to focus more on my music and build that. But now I'm back to gaming. I've finally just pulled the trigger on the PlayStation 5, and to be honest, I was actually holding off from buying it because I could have bought it earlier, but I wanted to take a look at what's going to come out about the PlayStation Pro, which they released, which was kind of a disappointment when I heard about it because the price was crazy and what comes with it, because it has no disk drive and it has no vertical stand as well, so you're just buying it as it is. And you can check out the discourse about the PS5 Pro online if you want to know more about it. But I finally decided to just buy the original PlayStation 5. I tried to look for the slim version, but I really couldn't find it, and sometimes the prices that people were selling them for were crazy. And yes, I was looking at the used market because buying these new is very expensive right now, and I've noticed that a lot of people actually don't have these consoles because of the price, and a lot of people are still playing the PlayStation 4, which is still a good console. But this one really surprised me. Like, it really surprised me so much to the point where I just had to sit down and make a video about it and talk about it, because it is a really good machine. It's very powerful and the quality is insane. Okay, so let's talk about the console itself first, right? This is the controller here, the DualSense. So the console itself is really great. So you've got your Blu-ray disc port right here, and you've got a couple of buttons here. You've got the on button and the one where you take out the disc, right, and basically that's it. Then you just have your USBs right here where you can connect your controller, and if you want to add like disk drives and things like that. And then going to the back, let me do this carefully. So at the back you have Ethernet, and then you have more USBs, and you have HDMI and your power right there, and that's it. Very minimal, not too much going on. So that's basically it about the the console itself on the body. But let me tell you, when I started to load up games, because the first game I really was excited to play was the game that comes with the console, which is a free game, which is Astro's Playroom. Let me tell you, the quality that you see when you load up Astro's Playroom is crazy. For me, it feels like a showcase of the console itself, because the way everything looks and the way the controller reacts is insane. This console really shines on a 4K TV, because we have a 4K TV in the house, and that's why I was really excited to see how the games are going to look quality wise, because you can obviously play like on a smaller screen, like a computer monitor, if you have like the 1440p monitors, which are very popular with a lot of people. I'm sure you'll get really nice looking visuals right there, but let me tell you, if you connect this machine to a 4K screen, it looks beautiful. Like, the games just look really good, although not most of the games are going to be playing at native 4K. If you play like some AAA games that are super heavy, because you have two modes on PlayStation, which is the fidelity mode and the performance mode. So I've been switching back and forth between both depending on the game. Performance mode is really nice. I really like it. Everything runs at a smooth 60 frames per second. It is beautiful. The motion is just fluid. But then if you want it to look nice, you can use fidelity mode, where it pushes it to 4K, and then all the graphics are like maxed out as possible, and it looks great, but you're missing that smoothness, that video game 60 frames per second smoothness. So it's up to you to balance it out, but personally I like 60 frames per second, and I think that's why they released the Pro version of the PlayStation 5, so that people can really see every game at its maximum power. So you let me know if you're gonna buy that, if you're interested in that. But for me, this console is beautiful. I think this is the console to go for right now if you are trying to get into gaming, because for me, I've always been into games, and I just want to jump back because I think it's been 10 years since I've played a video game. The last console I actually owned was a PlayStation 2. You can imagine, that was like decades ago. And I only wanted to play God of War on that console when they released God of War 2. So that's the game I actually wanted to play. And now there was God of War 3 and so many in the middle, and then they redid God of War on PlayStation 4 and started it over again, because now he's he's no longer in the Greek pantheon. They're now going into the Norse mythology and all that jazz. So yeah, I took a look at those, and those are really nice games and super fun, and I can't wait to get into all those games here on PS5. But going back to the controller, the DualSense, number one, this controller is beautiful. Just look at it. It's like a really beautiful controller. I know that it comes in different colors, but I really like the white. It is beautiful. And the one thing that surprised me about this controller is that it's got a speaker. I'm not gonna lie, when I loaded up Astro's Playroom and then I started to hear the little speaker like in front, right here, just in between the analogs. It's like literally just right there. There's a speaker right there. It's crazy. It just started playing and then I was like, what? There's a speaker right there. I didn't know that, because when I watched some videos, people didn't really explain that. You know, in some games, the speaker actually activates and you can hear sound from it. I was also playing Resident Evil, and you know, if someone is on like the walkie-talkie, you can hear them on the controller right here. And then just the vibration is like fluid, and then the adaptive triggers as well, they are really great. Like the triggers are so good, especially if you're fighting like a first-person shooter or anything like that. The triggers work so well, and the buttons, they feel so good, and it's actually a great in the hand controller right here. Right here in the front, in the middle here, there is a audio jack right here, so you can connect your headphones, or you can connect a mic, I think, but yeah, your headsets, you can connect them here. And there's a mute button right here, and right here at the back you've got your charging port, which is where you connect it to the console itself, right? And then if you have a charging station, you charge it over here where you see these electronic touch thingies or whatever. Obviously I said that I bought this used, right? It's used because yeah, a brand new PlayStation is expensive, but it's all the same. But I got it from a used shop that we find locally here called Cash Crusaders. So I wanted to buy it from them because if I run into any problems, I can definitely just return it and they can get the problem fixed for me, you know, instead of buying it from a person, which is not a bad idea. But then I just wanted that extra security of knowing that if anything happens, you know, I can just take it back to them and they can be able to fix it. If they cannot fix it, I can get my money back. So for me, that was a good deal. If you buy expensive things like these from people, you might not have, you know, that luxury of returning it or getting them to fix it for you. A deal is a deal. You buy it, it's done, it's done. But overall, I'm really impressed with the PlayStation 5. It is a definite buy if you want to get into gaming and you just want some good entertainment. I've even loaded up YouTube and Netflix on it. They work fluidly. Like my TV's Netflix is even slower than the one that's on the PS5. It's so fast. Everything is really so good. And I think I'm also just gonna subscribe to PlayStation Plus so that I can have access to even more games, because obviously I chose this one with the discs so that I can actually buy physical discs and keep them. You let me know if you are with the digital copies or you with discs, but for me, I want to have both. I want to download digital games and also buy the disc and, you know, create a collection of discs that I can own and, you know, I can play over time, especially games that I know I'll keep going back to, that are like my own favorites and my own classics. So I might even buy something on digital and maybe even just buy like a physical copy if I want to. But overall, in conclusion, PS5 is a beautiful machine. It is really great. I am interested to see though what the Pro is going to look like and how far it's going to push games, because I'm sure they are enhancing other games now to work for the Pro version and really push the boundaries when it comes to graphics. So that's going to be super interesting to see about that. But this is a great system. And we'll see when GTA 5 comes out how it's going to play on this machine. I'm probably going to post about that as well. And going forward, what I'm going to be feeling and what I want to share about the console itself. So here we are, man. So it's been 5 days actually playing the PS5 right now. So I can't wait to see how GTA 6 is going to be looking on this console, because GTA 5 has been mad popular, madly successful, and Grand Theft Auto games are always super popular, interesting. I can't wait to play GTA 6 and see how it's going to look on this machine, and even how it's also going to look on the PS5 Pro as well. That's going to be super interesting, how the graphics are going to be crazy, because we just only saw a trailer. There hasn't been any gameplay out yet, so everybody's just sitting like, you know, waiting for them. So right now, just this past few days, I played a couple of games. I downloaded a couple of demos. Like I mentioned before, I played Astro's Playroom, and it looks beautiful, plays really great. I've also played Street Fighter, I've played Tekken, I've played Resident Evil demos, and like other demos as well that I just loaded up that I might even be forgetting as well, and they all play so well, and I've been testing them out to see, you know, exactly what happens. And I've also played online as well. I've been playing the first Descendant, which I'm into right now. You know, it's a shooter game and it's really nice. You guys let me know what you're playing on the PS5 if you already have one, or what you're planning on playing when you get your PlayStation 5. But for me, I'm going to be sampling everything, but for me, I love action. Thank you so much for watching and just listening to me tell you about my first impressions on the PS5 right now. I know I'm a couple of years late to it, but hey man, it's still a very popular console and it's still the best console out right now. I haven't tried Xbox yet, but come on, PlayStation is the most popular for a reason, right? So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Let me know what you're playing. If you have any recommendations for games for me that I can try out, let me know down below. Even if any genre, it can be sports, it can be action, it can be strategy, it can be whatever. I'll try them out if I can get to them. Thank you so much for watching, my friend. I'll see you in my next video. I'm X and I'm out. Peace.